Imagine this. Humanity finally receives a signal from another civilization. They're close and far more advanced than us. What do? Reach out or stay silent? There's a theory called the dark forest. It says the universe is like a forest full of armed hunters. Every civilization is hiding, afraid of the others. Because there's one simple rule. If you find someone, strike first, even if they seem peaceful. One day, they might destroy you. The problem is, space is huge, trust is impossible, and the cost of being wrong is extinction. And that could be why we don't see anyone. But there's another side. It's almost impossible to hide advanced technology, and cooperation might be more valuable than war. So the real question is the universe a dark forest, or are we just not looking the right way?
How do astronauts go to the bathroom in space? In zero gravity, things work differently, but the human body feels the same as it does on Earth. The key difference is that liquids and waste don't fall down, so special suction systems are needed. Early astronauts handled this in simple ways, using diapers or sealed bags. During the Apollo missions, for example, waste was collected in containers with chemicals to control gases. Today, the International Space Station uses advanced space toilets. They rely on airflow to pull waste into the system. Urine is collected separately and then recycled. It's turned into clean water that can be used again. Solid waste is stored in sealed containers, which are later disposed of. Modern systems are more compact, comfortable, and designed to work well for all crew members. NASA's latest space toilet, which cost about $23 million, is even built for future deep space missions.
Imagine the scale of the Sun. You would need about 109 Earths lined up to match its diameter. And yet, in the universe, there are stars much bigger and much smaller. Why does this happen? The main factor is a star's mass. The more massive it is, the stronger gravity compresses it, raising the temperature in its core. This triggers nuclear fusion, which creates pressure and pushes the star outward. But a star's size also changes over time. Stars like our Sun eventually turn into red giants and can swallow nearby planets. The most massive stars become supergiants, reaching billions of kilometers in size. And after they die, they leave behind tiny but incredibly dense objects, white dwarfs or neutron stars. So a star's size is a balance between gravity and the energy inside it.
The sun has been shining for 4.6 billion years, and will keep going for about the same time. But could it suddenly explode? In reality, almost no. Destroying the sun would require more energy than billions of nuclear arsenals. Not even black holes or human experiments could do that. But the sun does have an inevitable ending. In about 5 billion years, it will turn into a red giant. It will expand, swallow Mercury and Venus, and turn Earth into a burned, lifeless world. Later, it will shed its outer layers and become a white dwarf, a small but incredibly dense stellar remnant. Is there any chance for humanity to survive? Theoretically, yes. We could move to moons of Jupiter or Saturn, or even travel to other stars. The good news? This won't happen anytime soon. Humanity has billions of years to prepare. Asteroids aren't just random space rocks. Some of them are worth insane amounts of money. Take the asteroid Psyche. It's basically a giant chunk of metal. It contains so much iron, nickel, and even gold that its total value is estimated at $10 quadrillion. That's enough to make every person on Earth a billionaire. But here's the catch. If we actually mine those resources, gold and platinum would stop being rare, and the global economy could completely change. Scientists are already planning missions to asteroids. The goal isn't just to study them, but to use their resources, like extracting water in space to make rocket fuel. Sounds like sci-fi? There are even ideas to move asteroids closer to Earth using robots. But asteroids aren't just valuable, they're dangerous too. One of them wiped out the dinosaurs. So space isn't just full of treasure, it's full of risks too. Uranus is the strangest planet in the solar system. It literally spins on its side like it's rolling through space. 1 year there lasts 84 Earth years, and at the poles, day and night can each last 42 years. Only one spacecraft has ever visited it, Voyager 2 in 1986. Everything we know comes from just a few hours of data. But Uranus isn't as calm as it looks. It has massive storms, and its atmosphere is the coldest of any planet, down to negative 371 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the mystery. Uranus barely gives off any internal heat. Scientists think that billions of years ago, a huge protoplanet slammed into it and knocked it onto its side. Uranus also has the darkest rings in the solar system and moons that might hide oceans beneath their surfaces. Maybe in the next few decades, we'll finally discover what this tilted world is really hiding. The Milky Way is a massive swirl of hundreds of billions of stars, and somewhere on its edge is our sun. But space around us isn't empty. It's far stranger than you think. We're actually inside a giant bubble of hot gas created by exploding stars. It stretches hundreds of light years across, and nearby there's another, even bigger bubble. We're slowly drifting into it. Not far away is Spica, one of the brightest stars in our sky. It's actually two stars orbiting so close, gravity is pulling them out of shape. Scientists believe it could explode as a supernova relatively soon. But here's the wildest part. There's a neutron star just 400 light years away. It's the size of a city, but heavier than the sun. Its gravity literally bends light. And all of this is just a tiny corner of our galaxy. The universe is far bigger than we can even imagine. Close your eyes and imagine the fastest speed you've ever felt. A plane taking off? Russian roller coasters? Now multiply that by 1,000. Right now, the fastest object ever made by humans is racing through space, the Parker Solar Probe, nearly 435,000 miles per hour. But here's the paradox. In space, that speed is almost nothing. If you traveled that fast for a week, the stars around you wouldn't even move. The closest star is Proxima Centauri, just 4.2 light years away. But at that speed, the trip would take more than 60,000 years. If you could accelerate close to the speed of light, you could cross the galaxy in just a few decades of your life. But there's a price. While only years pass for you, thousands, even millions of years pass on Earth. You would see the universe, but you'd lose everything you once called home. Look up at the night sky and find the Andromeda Galaxy, a tiny blurry spot. It's the farthest object you can see with the naked eye. The light you're seeing left it 2.5 million years ago. Back then, humans didn't even exist. In 1924, Edwin Hubble proved it's not a cloud, but an entire galaxy with about 1 trillion stars, even bigger than our Milky Way. Now here's the mind-blowing part. If you could travel there, close to the speed of light, only about 30 years would pass for you, but 2.5 million years would pass on Earth. You'd come back to a completely different world. But here's the twist. You don't have to go to Andromeda. It's already coming to us. In about 4 to 5 billion years, the two galaxies will collide and merge into one. The sky will fill with new stars, forming a completely new galaxy. We may never reach it with our bodies, but our minds already have.